Okay, we've looked at quite a lot of lengths of arcs and areas of sectors. We're now going to put it all together in a mixture. Okay, so we're going to do a couple examples of each type. Okay, so let's go for an example 1, and we're going to find the length of an arc, given that that's 50 degrees and 7 centimetres. Okay, so it's back to example 1, it's just back to what we did last week, which is simple length of arc. So that is a bit of 360 times pi d. Okay, so remember the circle with a line in it, theta, is the angle. So how big is the bit? Well, the bit is 50 degrees, so it's 50 to 360 times pi times the diameter. Now, we can see that the radius of the circle would be 7, so the diameter is 14, so I need to double that, 7. Okay, and then enter that in the calculator. Okay, in one decimal place, that's 6.1 centimetres. Okay, so that is length of arc. Okay, so let's now go for area of sector. Okay, so what did we do in example 1? We found the length of the arc. That means we found the length of that line. Now we're interested in the area of the sector, so that's the amount of surface that we've got inside here. Okay, so our first move, I'm going to give you the size of the angle here. So let's say that the size of the angle is 240 degrees. Okay, so area of a sector, our formula is area of a sector, AOS, is a bit of 360 multiplied by the area of a circle, which is pi r squared. Okay, so how much is the bit? 240 degrees. 240 out of 360 times pi times the radius, which I'll need to put in here just now. Okay, so the radius is 4 centimetres times 4 squared. Okay, enter that into the calculator. 240 out of 360 times pi times 4 squared. Okay, and that is 33.5 square centimetres. Remember to square the units for an area. Right, so that's our basic examples. Basic length of arc and basic area of sector. Just make sure that you're fine with them. Okay, basic length of arc, a bit out of 360 times pi times d. Basic area of sector, bit of 360 of pi r squared. Now we're going to look at the examples when you need to find the angle in the middle. So let's look at 2 of them. Okay, so example 3, and there's the sector, there's the angle is x degrees, and then that's 9 centimetres. Okay, so the question is then to find the size of the angle. Now at that point, we need to get our formula, but I'm first of all going to tell you that the area of the sector this time is equal to 162 square centimetres. Okay, so remember my formula for that one, which is area of the sector over pi r squared is equal to angle over 360. So let's put things in. What's the area of the sector? Well, the area of the sector is 162 over pi r squared, so that's pi times the radius squared. That's pi times 9 squared is equal to the angle. Well, the angle is what I'm looking for. I'm calling it x over 360. Okay, next move is to cross multiply. That times that equals that times that. X times pi times 9 squared equals 162 times 360. I then need to bring that times pi times 9 squared down and divide. So that's now going to be x equals 162 times 360 over pi times 9 squared. Enter it all into the calculator, and that'll give me, to one decimal place, 229.2 degrees. Okay, one more. Let's go for this one. Okay, so there's my sector. The angle inside is called x degrees. That's 6 centimetres for the radius. And this time I'm going to give you the length of the arc. The length of the arc is 12 centimetres. Okay, so remember that formula. So this time it's going to be length of arc over pi d is equal to angle over 360. Okay, what's the length of the arc? The length of the arc is 12. 12 over pi times the diameter. Okay, so the radius is 6, the diameter is going to be 12, equals the angle x over 360, cross multiply. X times pi times 12 is equal to 12 times 360. I'm now going to bring the pi times 12 down and divide, and that will be x equals 12 times 360 over pi times 12, enter into the calculator into one decimal place, 114.6 degrees. Okay, so now you're going to try these ones. Okay, question 1, simple length of arc, about a 360 pi d. Question 2, okay, let me put that one in, area of the sector. Okay, so about a 360 times pi r squared. Okay, question 3 and question 4, that's those ones we'll need to find the angle and use your ratio. So question 3, the area of the sector is 32.7, the radius is 5, you need to find the angle. And finally question 4, the length of the arc this time is 33 centimetres. The radius is 8 and you need to find the angle in between, and that corresponds to each of the 4 questions that was earlier on in the video. Okay, so I'll have a go at them.